Hey everyone out there, and welcome back to another episode of The Relevant Ramblings. We are here today to have a hot discussion for some new information that's not really just dropped, but it's one that we definitely want to speak on with everybody here. I am, of course, your host, the boy, Sleepy.
What's going on, y'all? It's Seraph.
This is my dude.
Hey. How's everyone out? How's everyone doing out here? It's been a little bit of time since I spoke to you two.
It's been a while since you spoke to Seraph.
I mean, like, actually talk to you. I mean, you weren't here, but like when we were just getting on, he actually brought up that he thought it's been like 3 weeks since I talked to him.
Yeah.
And we just recorded like a week ago.
No.
Yeah.
You and I recorded a week ago, not him.
I wasn't here last week.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I still spoke with him. He had to talk to me and tell me that, like, hey, I'm not gonna make it, or you know. But it's still like it's been like this huge time.
I'm talking about like seeing your face and talking, or just like hearing your voice. I sent it through text message. It's a different thing.
It's a different thing. Oh yeah, I mean,
it's a different thing.
It's the digital age. It's all the same. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's all coming through in the same manner. It's all bits. This is just not real. This is actually a hologram. Actually, I'm not really like this.
I wish I could say the same for myself.
Oh, it's all right. Don't worry. I hear there's tons of all new kinds of technology and modifications that are coming soon for everybody. But yeah, you know. Yeah, so I know we all wanted to get together real quick and put out something new here for us, and with the topic that we had for today was brought out because I was trying to brainstorm some things to talk about and I couldn't come up with anything, and actually Seraph dropped 2 good ideas on us, and I actually really liked the one because I didn't know it until I looked up at it, and if you've already seen from the title, you know, but we've got a live action version of Sweet Home coming, and it's coming through Netflix. So, and I don't know if it's, I read through the article, I don't believe it's like the other, like another production company, everything is making it, and then they're just gonna like grab the rights to play over here. But it sounds like they're actually, you know, responsibly dropping the money in for it, and it's pretty big because this is, I believe, the second Webtoon on Netflix right now that's actually live action coming. I don't know if either you two have read it. The first one is Rugal. I don't know if either of you have heard that. Yeah. So I actually was while I was just scrolling through my list, the recommendation popped up for it, and I didn't know it, and then like right in the description it just said, you know, based off the hot Webtoon. I was like, what? Yeah. The hot web. It's
Based.
Yeah. You know, that that Netflix adaptation. But yeah.
At least it can be adaptation, not like base. Because base could be like.
Yeah.
It could mean a lot.
Those key phrases and words that'll definitely put a little bit of a question mark above your head. But yeah, so I saw that, and then, you know, after this it's like, oh, okay, so this may be their Netflix is kind of in to get you know, a different sector rather than just go strictly to anime, because they've been trying to get more and more anime on there, at least more original anime, rather than just, you know, buying the licenses. And granted, most of those have been snatched up by like Funimation and you know, Crunchyroll. So like yeah, exactly.
Like how they've been making their own like 3D animes, kind of like Kengan Ashura or the Magister Insect Cage and other shows like that.
Yeah, they just made a 3D animation version of oh god, I'm trying to think of it, the Cyberpunk one. They just made a live action for it, or not live action, but a animation of that not too long ago. So it's not surprising that we're seeing more and more of them in this, with them now trying to like get a live action version of one of a very popular webtoon. It might be their way of like, hey, let's test out and see if maybe there's other webtoons out there that we might want to snatch up before they become too popular, or that all the licenses get taken away. But yeah, just reading the article through, they're dropping in 2.4 mil per episode.
Per episode, yeah.
Per episode. I didn't look up any of the statistics to see like what is the closest other show that they have on Netflix that they personally dropped a lot of money on. But yeah, that's quite a bit. What's up?
How many episodes are we getting?
I didn't hear what you said, homie.
How many episodes are we getting?
I didn't see anything in the article that stated how long the first season would be. I'm sure Seraph can look it up real quick, but I didn't see anything specifically stating like how long the first season was going to be. I'm sure that's still in talks. I know that they only have the first bit of the cast, at least all of the main.
I feel like I want to see.
How many episodes would you want?
Like no, I feel like I want to see more money spent, but on less episodes. So like, have 8 episodes, 8 solid episodes or something like that, 8 or 9 solid episodes.
But
like that first bit.
That would actually fit for the content we have right now for Sweet Home.
Yeah.
About 8 episodes, 45 minutes each. It would fit pretty much just everything in there.
And then instead of having more of the budgets like spread out between those guys on that. So like have more budget, but less episodes.
Okay.
More quality over quantity.
I see. So how much would you?
Because how I feel like, I'm thinking like 2.4. I'm like, man, I really who's the CG behind it? Because that's the part I want to like. I'm worried about. The CG sounds like it's going to be like.
I mean, depending on how much of each of the actors are being paid, and yeah, the CG would need to be real good in order so that it.
No, keep going.
Oh, no, I was going to say, the CG would want to be real good unless they are going to go to a practical effect route, which I think is actually much better and will probably give you a more realistic look.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to be practical effects.
They could
want practical effects.
There are still, we want practical effects, but there are a lot of good studios out there that do very great practical effects now. And they could even try and half it, or even like some things get to be CG and some other things are strictly practical effects. It'll all come down to the creative team and how well they can pull that off. But either way,
how well they want to use their budget. They have
exactly.
With them. Because like all the monstrifications are gonna cost.
Oh yeah.
Because that's probably like the biggest point of Sweet Home is the monstrifications. They're trying to live action that, especially for certain ones, like that flying monster that's outside with the big eyeball, or the protein monster, or just like the giant fetus seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all that is gonna have to. The budget's gonna skyrocket for those seeds in particular.
Oh yeah, I definitely could see that. I mean, 2.4 mil is not bad. When I was like,
I want practical effects of the level of like Thriller or like American Werewolf. Okay, so like actual
American Werewolf,
like actual see what the ask for. If we're talking practical effects, or like it has to be like actually going there. Like that's what I want.
But
or like Jurassic Park practical effects.
I mean, that's some practical. Well, depending on which year and which one you're going with. Some of that's practical effects, some of it's animatronics. So,
animatronics with the monster.
Yeah, like first Jurassic Park is there's some first year CGI going on there, but they have a lot of practical effects on set. So, I mean, it's definitely something I would say would be needed. I don't know about having the CG to the level of American Werewolf. Granted, I think American Werewolf was fair amount of practical effects actually.
What's that? It has to be that level of practical effects.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's completely doable. I mean, most of the time when we get a lot of these like movies from the past that have really great practical effects, it came out of a desperation of like little to no budget, and they look great because the idea of where they're using them and how they're kind of using the camera, it looks all perfect. So yeah, I mean that those effects people are going to have the some time on their hands to kind of figure out how they want to get this to go. And yeah, and if we get like a low amount of episodes, 8 for a season, and that cuts the budget down and we get a little bit more money towards that, would actually not at all be a bad thing. I definitely think with the amount of content that happens, and especially with what, I mean, not to mention most of it happens all in, you know, one particular location. So, you know, you can just shoot everything in one building. That already takes a lot of that budget, you know, out of the way for you.
It downsizes a lot.
Yeah.
Where do you think we would end on the first season then?
I think for the first season end, they would probably end before, they would probably end right around the time that they actually make maybe the first plan to run out, to actually try and go to the store, and it all just goes to shit. And we get the introduction of the convicts. I figured that would probably be a natural stopping point.
Yeah, I was gonna say the introduction to the convicts, and then it just like cliffhanger in there.
Because if you think about it, most of that first part is all of them just dealing with each other, and then a few of the monsters, and they at that point they think they're the only ones that are, you know, alive within the entire area. And then, you know, they get those new individuals to come in. That would actually be like a natural stopping point, because they bring a whole new situation problem for them to handle. So it's actually pretty good if they wanted to go that far. Yeah, but I could see, you know, a few other places that they might want to stop, depending wise. There's a couple of there's definitely, I know every episode's going to end with, you know, a cliffhanger, because I mean, heck, the comic is written with almost every episode with every chapter having a cliffhanger ending.
I don't think that's the right way to do it.
I don't think it is, but I'm saying that they probably will.
Because the way Netflix works.
What do you mean?
All the episodes come out all at once.
Well, I mean, it still could end with a.
I don't think there's a point in having a cliffhanger.
Well, I you know, they could still have a cliffhanger ending on pretty much the end of each episode, knowing that the entire season's out for everyone to watch. So, you know, you can just literally consume it. Yeah.
Just people consume it. They could just hit next episode.
Exactly.
What's gonna happen? You know. Like,
you know.
Oh, what the fuck's gonna happen next? I gotta watch the next episode. It's like,
yeah. Like this format would work way much better for like back in the day for like Walking Dead, because you literally had to wait a week before you could know what was going to happen on each episode, and every episode pretty much ended on a cliffhanger all the time. There was no like everyone, you know, just went to bed and it was cool. So it would actually probably be a little bit better of a format for them. Now with you know, with their budget and even the setting that they have, I think was going to work well in their favor. I looked at some of the actors and actresses. I'm not really familiar with too many of them. I did see what a few of them have done. Have either of you watched Mr. Sunshine on Netflix? No? No? Okay. Well, do
I look like I like that much sunshine? Yes,
you actually do. I mean, you do keep radiating from dark to light, so yes, you know, you're getting a lot of light here, so that maybe that's just, you know, a state of, you just need some kind of light to keep yourself in a happy mood. But yeah, the I'm just saying the director and producer for that is the one who has been tapped in order to write and bring this to life. I mean, he's already got experience, you know, working with Netflix, so it's not a terrible thing. I think Mr. Sunshine's not too bad. I actually enjoyed a little bit of it. I still got to watch more. But yeah, so I mean, either way, a lot of new interesting things coming forward. Now, out of that, is there something in particular like you guys would want to see within the first season? Go all the way through? Like, is there something that like must be in there that, you know, could be passed over in the actual webtoon?
I honestly think what I'd want to see the most are all the shots that occur in the stairwell.
Okay.
Because I feel like the stairwell is where you can actually get like a dynamic sort of like a more original type of shooting being done in that. Because, you know, it's such a cramped space.
Yeah.
Where, you know, like you have to have a very more unique way of filming this, especially since this is like them trying to climb up the stairwell or climb down the stairwell. So
Yeah.
you have to like try to figure out how to do this in a non-intrusive way, I guess, or like see if we can do it with like a one-shot take. You know what I mean? That would be a very nice take to see.
Yeah, like one just full continuous sequence through the stairwell. Then
Yeah.
any like cut to cuts. Yeah, that would probably be interesting. There's definitely a lot of artistic angles you could take with how this is going to happen, because I mean, so much of a lot of the character interactions or anything, it happens in just a single, apartment room, or when they're downstairs.
The cast is not just Korean.
What's up?
I'm assuming this cast is going to be a diverse cast in Korean.
So far, all of the main characters seem that they are Korean. I don't know if some of the others will be other ethnicities. Not 100% sure on that. So we'll have to see once the full list is actually put out. Yeah, but I mean.
I just looked it up. So far, most of the cast is Korean.
Yeah.
I have not seen a single American name in here.
I mean, I haven't seen a casting for W.E.B.T.O.O.N.
Do I get
on
to
there.
read subtitles?
Do we get to read subtitles?
Knowing Netflix, we're gonna have subtitles. Yeah.
Knowing,
I'm fine with that.
I'd say knowing Netflix, we're probably gonna have both. So yeah, there's still a few people in the casting that I haven't seen for. W.E.B.T.O.O.N hasn't been cast. I don't believe the two kids have been cast. I know they got our one smart genius who's running the group. They got his sister. I haven't seen anyone cast for the priest yet either. So there's a few spots in there where they haven't put in people for. But no, back to what you were saying on that, like the interestingness for like shooting in the stairwell. With so much of this happening in one location, you're going to kind of have to hopefully push that envelope to get a lot of dynamic shots, because you're going to be spending so much time in one location. And we definitely know it's very doable. We have movies out there that happen all in one location, The Raid and, Judge Dredd. Granted, those are more action films, with this being more horror, but you can definitely make this extremely creepy with them just being in like this kind of rundown-ish like apartment building. So, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of a little more that I want to go with on that. Anything that you two find interesting or, want to speak on for this?
No, not really. I'm more concerned, like I pointed out, the stairwell, because obviously this is going to take place in the same location. I think it will also get to the point where some of the backgrounds or the locations in the building will get kind of stale when you see it again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's better and more interesting to get dynamic shots from different points of the room, instead of just having like, oh, okay, I'm looking at the same every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, that may take them into having some artistic liberty with them, like maybe moving around the apartment more than they did in the actual webtoon, so they can see some other areas. Because we mostly spend the first couple of chapters were just in his room. He pretty much stays bundled up. We get a few shots of W.E.B.T.O.O.N's room and a few shots of a few of the other rooms, and it isn't until later on that we actually get a full shot of like downstairs and things like that. So hopefully they'll like be willing to show more of those other areas or other apartments. They might even have us we might even get that visual where we see some of the other people like in the apartments. Like, I'm surprised, like so far we've only seen like a handful of group of people, and yet this is a pretty large apartment building, and you'd figure there's probably 30, maybe 40 people in there. You kind of, and we've only seen like what, 12?
10, 15.
Yeah, 10, or you're like, what happened to everybody else? Or or they didn't like break into anyone else's room and just find just corpses everywhere. So definitely
found the little kid that turned into like a slime, or like
Well, I mean, they come up, they do like stumble upon him later, but it isn't until a much later in the chapters that we even make it to that room specifically. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we got a fair amount of talk that we wanted on that one, but with this, I do want to say with this happening with another webtoon now becoming a live action, and with us here, we normally have that lovely joke of the anime the manga, the anime adaptation, and then the Netflix adaptation. Usually they're always go to live action, and they're not generally that great. Do we think that this will be a little bit better going around, since Netflix is actually putting the money in, and it's not just like them buying the license from said other publishers or anything like that who've already completely done the show?
So
No,
what,
I think-
what
I
live
think-
adaptations have you had?
I can't remember that
Fullmetal
gambling.
Alchemist is one.
Yeah, I can't remember the evil gambling game one.
Kakaguri.
Kakaguri, yeah, that one's got a live action adaptation.
So we got Fullmetal Alchemist, Kakaguri, which
Bleach.
is pretty decent. We have a
We got a Bleach.
we had a Bleach one.
We had a Bleach
Yeah, but
one.
Bleach wasn't Netflix funded though, so
Yeah, so I was gonna say, but Netflix funded ones only. Like Death Note was one also.
Death Note,
And
which was so weird that they would.
I hated that. I hated that so much.
it was terrible. Okay, are we all
I-
agree that was terrible?
I was already like
Not
Okay.
on board with that. Please don't go down a dark hole.
I already kind of like dislike Death Note. Like the first half is great, but it falls after the second half, right? So
Yeah.
like I was already like, okay, this is already a hard start to try to like adapt and like be good and all, and then the live action was like thrown all out the window, and I was like, what is this trash?
Well, I mean, they kind of had to, because it was like the third or fourth adaptation. You do realize that, like they.
You know what? If you're going to get adapted this weirdly different, then go all the fucking way like different. Okay,
We
like
got a full fucking send that bitch.
it should have been like guys, this is our adaptation of Death Note, which is the sequel to Death Note. Wait, what? Yeah, someone else gets the Death Note, and then that happens. I'm like, I'd be fine with this shit. Okay, like. At least then it would have been like, okay, you have full rights to go as crazy or weird as you want, and no one ever questions it, okay? But like, when you try to, like, it's like this weird. We try to one for one adapt Death Note, but then with white people, and then you're like, this doesn't work as this way. Stop.
Hey,
Stop.
white people
Stop.
and a black person. Lakeith was
Yeah,
there too.
they gotta calm down and all
Lakeith
that,
was
bro.
there too. You gotta take that back. Yeah.
Thinking about how like the Korean people are gonna be adapting this one,
Mm-hmm.
like for the acting, they're gonna be probably talking to the guy who made Sweet Home and thinking what he wants in it, what he don't want in it. I think it'll go pretty alright. It just varies on how well they're gonna do. Like again, the monstrification scenes, or like Ark was saying, the stairwell scenes, like the more cramped scenes and things like that.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot of it where like we're in cramped areas, we're in a lot of rooms, we're in hallways, we're in a bus, So it's just how well they decide to go about all that the more cramped scenes going on there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just hoping that they stick strongly to the horror genre that they're going with. And if, they're going to take any liberties, it's at least with that mindset. So they keep a lot of that, especially when
the intensity,
like, there's almost, after the full monstrification starts becoming like a commonplace thing, the tension is almost never gone. Every scene, even with them just like sharing nice moments, you still have just that luring tension in the background always there, because the monsters are just outside the window, or maybe
right
in a
down the
room.
hall.
Next.
Yeah.
Who's next?
What's up?
That's what that is. It's who's next.
Yes.
Exactly. It's who's up
Yep.
to die next. Like there's always that incredible amount of tension going on in the entire webtoon. So like just seeing them trying to adapt the intensity and the tension going on in the webtoon into a live action film is going to be really interesting to see.
Yeah.
It's at this point, it's just all up to the actors for the intensity.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's all on the cameras for how well the atmosphere is gonna be like. You know.
Oh, they've got a lot of different working parts in there that they're gonna have to hopefully get right. Just not just only the actors and actresses. You know, the director making sure that he understands the vision of the writer and what they're trying to portray. The lighting crew and the camera people, the cinematographer, all of them are gonna have to like be on a really good point so that they're kind of in this same space together and not just all thinking of one different way that they want to view this scene or this area, and it just kind of comes off really weird or anything like that. So there's tons of little things in bits to go in there, and I know we still got a little bit of time before this is even going to drop. I don't know if they've given us like a tentative date yet, because I believe this was announced back in 2019, but it was, I think, actually like fully confirmed. World events are definitely going to push it back even further, since I know a lot of things have been put under the back burner. But yeah,
if my comment writer was pushed back because of the current world events, there's no way that's not going to happen too. Live action version of W.E.B.T.O.O.N. Okay. So it's fine. If Toei was like, you know what, people's lives are more important than trying to build and make money, it's fine. And I'm like, you know what? If Toei knows that this is what it's supposed to do, I think the rest of the world should know too. It's fine.
You sure that Toei knew what to do and it wasn't like someone breathing down their necks and forcing them not to?
Either way works.
Oh, I see. I don't know. I mean, from country to country, we're not sure exactly how they're handling each one of their shut-ins. I mean, I know here we've gotten ours like partially lifted, and some states just straight up aren't doing it at all. So, they could be far different, all the way over there, what they may do or not.
Other states are practically wide open. Looking at you, Wisconsin.
No, come on. They just really needed a drink. Yeah, that way. They really needed a drink. It's all right. It happens. So either way, we've definitely got something else to look forward to, especially after the news with, the launch of, God of High School coming on the way. Tower of God just about ending, and we got multitudes of other things getting pushed out. I know that there's tons coming in the light of all of this kind of rolling out, and the fact that we so quickly just got now Sweet Home going into a live action is actually quite surprising.
How the Webtoon community is like just slowly coming out towards anime adaptations, fucking live action adaptations, and other things like that. It's just wild to think about. Like these guys have been writing these things for years and years and years, and now it's just finally coming out to light.
So there's a lot of material to pick up and take and run with, so that's all good news all around. Just to keep in the same subject but spin off to another one, since we've got this into a live action now. As I was saying before, we all have that that we have a kind of a not a great disposition with things going from mangas to live action animation. We prefer them staying in just animation. Are there any webtoons that you would think would actually benefit or work well in live action, kind of like this?
I would think of more so like the romantic comedy style ones.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like I Love You, Lore Olympus, Let's Play, type stuff.
I would actually really like to see Lore Olympus as a live action. I feel like they could do some real funky things.
That would work. That would definitely work.
I think they could do some real funky things with some costumes.
Even Let's Play it would be very much like a live action version of what's that anime that's about the game of falling in love?
The anime about the game, The Fall in Love?
No, the gamers. The girl who's a gamer and she works with her coworker and her boyfriend, and they're both gamers.
I know what you're talking about. It's Hard Finding Love as an Otaku?
Yeah,
or
so
Workplace Otakus?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That feels like this is like what we would get, right? And it's much more in line with nowadays topics, right? Or like it's more culturally relevant. Right?
Yeah. I definitely could see that.
I would see those more so than most other ones, like Unordinary being live action. I just can't see Unordinary getting live action.
I kind of could, but I wouldn't. But I kind of could, but I wouldn't think it would be very good. I see Unordinary, and I instantly start thinking of something like Heroes, and I just like, nope, just drop that on the floor right away.
Throw that in, as if those dudes who made UALA.
Oh.
And then, like, you know, Hardcore Leveling Warrior and other things like that. I can't see any of those getting a live action because it just feels so like any isekai type.
Have you seen the live action of like King's Avatar, God's Avatar?
Oh God, no!
That's so bad. I was like, how do you do the video game part where they're in the fucking video game with this?
Let's see, they did it like Spy Kids style video game.
Oh, ew! Oh no! Why? Oh, that's so bad. That CG makes me vomit. It's so terrible. Yeah, no, I've seen like a few seconds of the King's Avatar live action. I just went nope. It just yeah, and I definitely can agree with you on that. Like, I can't see some of those other ones where even with them like still in the real world, but they're like flipping over into a video game world, and most of their interactions are there. It just, I don't see the translation working well, just because of how much of it is all, you know, fantasy based driven, and it not be like a joke kind of thing. Like I could see that happening if it was more of a comedy version in like Let's Play or something, in the same way that an old show way back when, not Mythic Quest, but oh my God, I can't. Felicia Day came out of it, but that it would be kind of like that, you know, where where every so often they jump into the video game world, but you can always get that translation that, you know, this is them in the game world, this is them in the real world, and you see how that matches.
And then, like, the moments that we're in the video game world are still very much like, hey, it's just their avatars talking or something. Like, it's not something ridiculous where you can see them like, oh, we're in the middle of a fucking dragon fight, and I'm like, yeah, there's a limit of like too much CG in something like this, and you do not have the budget to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, and very much. And I would expect that kind of thing to happen. Like, you'd pop into a game and somebody's in the middle of a like orc quest or something, and it's like, no, that makes sense in a video game. That totally seems like that. Or the people that like act inappropriately in video games, you know, just walk in and your friend's just robbing the bar and you're just like, I gotta deal with this. Yeah.
My life, I deal with this.
pretty much. Yeah, I would definitely see a lot more of like the romantic comedies and things like that. If they have some, I mean, there's one called I Am the Grim Reaper. I think that could actually not work too bad as a live action, just because you know, with most of it just being the main character with abilities, but still in the real world, I think that one would actually not be too bad, since we have a lot of shows that kind of run in that format.
And a couple of movies like that too.
Yes. Oh, and I just remembered that that 3D animation movie I was talking about, Altered Carbon. I can't believe that just finally clicked in my head. Yeah. So.
Yeah, but that's a movie. That's budget for a movie, not budget for.
No, Altered Carbon's not a movie. That's a series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'm about to check it out.
It has like a movie level. It has movie quality like budgeting, but no, that's a full series. Yeah. So, but no, like I was saying, those few ones that like have them grounded in the real world, but it's just people with abilities. Maybe something like Elseed. I think that might work a little bit, because you just having, you know, animated friends, and we already got Scooby-Doo, so. Granted, It's not great, but you know, that's one I could see. And I mean, say what you will for Death Note. The CG on Ryuk is pretty fucking good. Like,
all the fucking money wins.
Regardless, it's the one thing in there that just needed to be good, since he's the only thing out of all of it that's like, you know, different.
No. Money should have been spent on like decent actors. Okay, like.
I mean, they did. They spent it on Willem Dafoe.
For real? They could have had a guy in a fucking
They spent it on actors.
I would have been perfectly fine.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They spent it on Willem Dafoe. That is a high budget actor. All praise to Willem Dafoe. He did a great job. That was the only good thing.
It's true, but I didn't have to like. The entire thing was not about Willem Dafoe, though. That's the problem.
I know it wasn't, but still, you know,
100% of the time I had this convoluted plan to make this my kid, and I was like, this is even worse than the original.
So this is just slowly turning into another part of the podcast of just us arguing about how much we didn't like Death Note, the American version.
Oh wait, we're gonna do this again?
No, we're not. It was a joke. If I have to type it in the chat to you, I will. Yeah, but no, I figure that, you know, with some shows and some movies, you know, putting that much money and budget to certain CG effects, that you could see other webtoons that have they're in the real world, but there's characters that are, you know, mythical or powered or something that could actually fit in and still be moved over. Ordinary I can't really see. I would need to read Elseed. Monster Child might actually be pretty cool in live action. That one specifically, just because I think most of it you could just do with natural prosthetics. You wouldn't have to go through too much CGing for mostly only for the transformation scenes, but every other time, you know, just regular costume. Seraph, or not Seraph, Arced. Anyone's for you, since I know Seraph gave a few.
No.
No? None?
No. I like Seraph covered exactly what I was going to suggest anyways.
Yeah, I just thought of slice of life, and usually most slice of life would go great as a live action, you know.
Like the other exception is we have Sweet Home, which is technically like a slice of life. It just so happens to have monsters in it. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Is it a slice of
this horror genre is actually just a slice of life.
Is life a tensioning monster field world?
It's just a slice of life that have monsters. This is what if life had monsters.
I don't know if I'd follow that one too far well into that. That's like Uzumaki is just a slice of life. There just happens to be horrific things going on in the background. You know,
yes.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Like you do.
by that, here, let's.
We are living our daily lives as a slice of life, and there's just horrendous things going on.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Like, what's going on right now? I can't speak of it because we'll probably get demonetized. But what's going on right now? We're living our daily lives as we are. It's just horrible things going on in the background.
We are really smiley for horrible things going on in the background, and this being really okay.
People are dying. That's what it is.
And that's what brings us just weird natural joy.
Oh man.
This will.
No. But that I mean, it only live action only generally works like this if one or two things: a lot of money is thrown at it, and I mean like a lot of money. Okay, like Avengers fucking level money. Okay?
Really?
So yeah, like because the CG has to be actually worth. Like I'm talking about like on a series. Okay, so like if I threw the budget of Avengers at a series, that series better be like amazing CG. Alright. Otherwise, I just don't want. I want as little CG in it as possible.
But we've known shows that have had a massive budget and still turned really, really bad. You know we've had that. So just having a ton of money does not mean better. Better chance. I don't know if having a massive budget means better chance. I really do think it's down to some of the people you're putting on there, especially with, you know, cast and crew and the creative heads. If there's too many people just, you know, completely having differences of opinions, that can easily take the show into terrible places. Even with having like a super big budget, it could really run things down. You know, plenty.
Heavily.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of shows I've seen for that, and I've seen and there's shows that have like little to no budget in their first seasons, and they do spectacularly well because they really focus in on a couple of key aspects, or they really put a lot of time in making sure that, you know, the cinematography looks perfect in every scene. So
kind of like how Monty-O.N had a $7 budget and still made it a whole last 3 seasons of anime.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's an idea of a person who had no budget and still made amazing animations constantly, you know?
This is a shout out to you, dog.
Yeah. Like, I mean, he had like probably dirt level budget, but
he had $7 to his fucking name and still made Ruby. Real quick, I just had to throw that out there because you guys are talking about like people with barely
any budget, low budgets, yeah.
Stuff, and that's the first person that came to mind.
Yeah. So yeah, well, just creativity and passion sometimes can pull you through to really great heights with having very little to work with. Yeah. So either way, hopefully them having, it's still 2.4 mil is nothing to shovel at, and this is just for their first season. If they do really well, they may next season get an even better budget, which can get them, you know, better quality all the way around for sure. A lot of shows start off on that slower budget and then gain a bigger one within their following seasons. And I know that they've already got a pretty large community ready to back them once it even drops, because I didn't actually check the numbers on Webtoons app to see what their like viewer count is, but I'm sure it's well over the millions. So, you know, you've already got a nice tapped market ready to watch this, and Netflix is pretty much everywhere. Everyone's got an account. So, you know, they don't have to do too much work to actually get the word out that it's coming. But yeah, I can't think of any other like webtoons off the top of my head that I would want to see do a live action. Most of them I would probably want to stick in the animation world because I feel like they'd be way better there. I haven't seen any like Western ones that I can think of. What's up?
I want more Taiwanese puppets.
Why? Why?
No, hold up. And also, to answer your question about the viewer count on Sweet Home, it is 10.5 million.
There you go.
That's only 10.5 million on Webtoons, right?
Yes, on Webtoons.
On Webtoons, at least.
Cool.
Not like other sites, you know, things like that where it's probably on.
Yeah, like the actual sourcing sites, but still, that is a good base to start with. I don't know why you want more puppets. Why?
Dude, eventually we're just gonna be replaced by puppets.
I mean, we aren't already.
But no, more puppets.
Which
more of that? More of
God.
that.
God. All right. Well, Art's getting a little
Taiwanese puppets, okay?
Yeah, Art's getting a little into it with his puppet, with his puppet love here. So, unless you two got anything else you want to bring up on that, we probably could close this one out. This would be for a short one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a short episode because I have nothing else to add to it. I've spoken all I wanted to speak about the live action expectations and what else we would think about getting live actions and things like that.
Yeah. Either way, it was still it was a topic I know we wanted to speak on. Granted, I know that a lot of the community in and out has their own biases or, you know, grievances between live action and sticking to the animation world. But every so often, I know you don't.
Fucking ruin it.
All right, there is Ark's quote of the day. He does not give a fuck. Just don't fucking ruin it. On that note, I think we can probably close this one out. Seraph, go ahead, and if you want to lead us to our end.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this episode of Relevant Ramblings. If you guys enjoyed the episode, leave a like down below. And if you guys want to continue with our content, subscribe to our channel and hit that little notification bell down below. And also, we have our links to our Discord, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Play Music, YouTube channel. Well, actually, we're going to be on the YouTube channel. Our Instagram, and eventually our Twitch channel that we are going to make, where we are going to be doing some read-throughs. I don't know. We're going to probably be reading like Red Storm or things like that. So please wait for it and check that out when the time comes.
Thank you so much for that, Seraph. I know Art can probably watch puppets with them. I'm sure he'll be glad to talk with them about that.
Dude, I will watch that show again and again. So good.
And, on our Twitch channel, we're gonna have Ark doing a read-through of random webtoons and manga.
What? No, I'm not reading anything.
And we've already got that agreed to. Perfect. We can close this one out. I am, of course, your host, the boy sleeping.
It's your boy Seraph here.
This is like not agreeing to do anything.
I can cut and edit that so it says agree. Take it easy, everybody.